All right, so we're live. Good morning. My name is Stan Collins. I am one of the co-founders of the Directing Change program and a longtime supporter of SOSL. Thank you for joining us this morning as we kick off our 15th annual and I believe first ever virtual walk in remembrance with hope. So obviously this year is a little bit different. So first off, we want to just thank you for taking time out of this Sunday to join us. Our hearts are with everybody out there. We hope you're staying safe. We hope you're taking care of yourself. And we're going to talk a little bit about what's going to be happening throughout the week, but really today is about kicking off the event. Before I go any further, I want to give a special shout out to Optum. They have been tremendous supporters of the walks over the year, and they are our featured sponsor this year. So Optum, thank you so very much for your support. So again, we're going to provide you with we're going to mix up the show a little bit today. We're going to talk with some other walkers, some team captains, and hear about why they walk and why they support SOSL. We're actually going to go live to the park at one point for a live dove release. We know that's an important part for many of you at every walk. So we're going to do that throughout. And we're just going to spend some time together this morning, kind of kicking off the week. So with that, we're going to start today with our national anthem by Adrienne Kaguya. Many of you have heard her sing in the past. She's absolutely beautiful. Her voice is amazing. And so we're going to kick it off with the national anthem today, and then I'll be back in a few.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Good morning. My name is Joyce Brueggemann, Executive Director of Survivors of Suicide Loss here in San Diego. I want to personally welcome each and every one of you to the official kickoff for our 14th annual Walk in Remembrance with Hope. You can see we're doing things a little differently this year. And COVID has changed the way we do life. And many of you listening here today as survivors of suicide loss, when suicide invaded your life, it changed us. And it changed the way that we do life. But we've also discovered that we are very resilient. We're strong, we're adaptable, compassionate, and hopeful. SOSL exists as an organization today due to the ongoing support of so many of you in our community, and we want to publicly thank you. You have allowed us to grow into one of the premier survivor of suicide loss organizations in our nation. And what's the backbone of SOSL? Our amazing support group facilitators. These individuals, week in and week out, willingly walk into the intense pain and grief for those who are left behind. after a suicide loss. These people become walking hope to those in some of their darkest hours. I want to publicly acknowledge them for their service and thank them for who they are and what they do for our community. I also want to thank each and every one of you for joining us for our virtual walk. We're very disappointed that we're not going to be able to be together next Sunday in Balboa Park. At SOSL and Directing Change, we had to reframe that disappointment, and we decided to refocus our efforts. Today is the first day of Suicide Prevention Week. Do you know what that means? It means that we have an entire week to honor our loved ones, to share our messages of hope, and to bring awareness to suicide. Let's take advantage of this opportunity. And as we gather back together during our closing ceremonies next Sunday, may we all come back saying that those around us know that hope is just a step away. Thank you.
Well, those of you who know Joyce know that she is much more eloquent than I, but to catapult off some of the messages that she shared just now, we are all struggling right now. All of our baseline mental health and anxieties are raised. But I think one of the things that I found the most with SOSL is community. In a few minutes, we're going to talk with some of the other teams, as I mentioned, and one of the things that I kind of realized as I was talking with them is that one of the reasons I associate with SOSL is because when I'm around other survivors, my loss hurts less. And I can't explain it. It's not necessarily logical, but there's something there that I don't have to explain myself to you, my friends, and my family out there. So we all have our different reasons for being here. But again, SOSL, Directing Change, everybody, on both teams is just sending our love out to you and our appreciation for you for all your years of support. But what I want to do now is talk a little bit and expand on what Joyce was talking about how we can take advantage of this week, which is Suicide Prevention Week. Joyce also mentioned that SOSL San Diego is one of the premier survivor of suicide loss organizations in the country, and I absolutely stand by that. A lot of times I go into other communities and other counties, and they're lucky to have one support group, let alone 17 that rotate locations and days throughout the month. So all of you out there, you know how much SOSL has meant to you and the great work that they do. But this year, since we're virtual, our 2020 walk, we're asking for a little bit different type of engagement from you. Since we all can't meet next Sunday like we had hoped to, walk together and heal through conversation and community, what we're doing is we're asking you to take this and meet us on social media. So we're asking that you post videos with your family and friends, if safe and if appropriate, of course, but sharing short videos, photos, or just posting a memory about your loved one. And we're going to be asking you to do that throughout the week. So after the ceremony today, you're going to get an email from Joyce highlighting all the social media kind of steps and what to do. For those of you who are not very comfortable or intimidated by social media, you're welcome to reach out to Chris Payne. So his information will be also included in that email. I'm intimidated myself, but I'm going to jump in the water with you all. And again, this is all to honor our loved ones, to raise the conversation about suicide prevention. But to explain it a little bit more, so start with step one, start with why you walk. Think about, is it because you want to honor a loved one? Is it because you want to send a message to those who are out there who might be having thoughts of suicide to help them find their reasons for living? Maybe you want to highlight a resource. Maybe this is an opportunity to start a conversation with some people who aren't familiar with or comfortable talking about suicide and suicide prevention. And then go for a walk. You can go someplace close to your home. You can find a place that reminds you of your loved one that you lost, or a place that brings you peace. Consider about posting a memory. You know, what was your loved one's favorite snack, their favorite, that one time they really made you laugh? And just think about what you'd want to share with the world in that post. Now, of course, safety first, making sure that we're all being, appropriate and going out there and making sure that the last thing we would ever want anybody to do is be unsafe. So, plan ahead, think about a location that you'll be safe. When you're shooting your video, obviously it'd be great if you didn't have your mask on, but we want everybody just to be safe out there. And again, this is all going to be repeated in the email that you're going to get. But one big thing is plan ahead. Maybe scope out a spot, do a little bit of reconnaissance and swing by and say, is this going to be a good spot? Think about the background noise, think about the lighting, think about the time of day. So with that, again, in the email, you're going to get some more tips. But what I want to do now is bring in Roja and Aaron Harris, who are with Team Invictus, and they've been, again, longtime supporters of survivors of suicide loss, and just talk with them a little bit about why you guys walk. So Roja and Aaron, how are you two doing?
Good. How are you doing,
Good.
Stan?
Doing very well. It's great to see you both. Thank you for being here. It was such a delight to have a little bit of extra time to chat with you both the other day. So, well, let's just start. I'm going to start with a simple question. So, why is it that you walk? Aaron, I'm going to put you on the spot and ask. So, why do you walk? Why do you support SOSL? What does it mean to you?
All right. Well, our first walk was in 2015, right after we lost Aaron. And we put together a team. We weren't really sure what to expect. And part of the reason now, I mean, it was kind of bizarre seeing how many people were impacted. And one of the reasons why we continue to walk, it's such a large group, to let San Diego know how many people are affected by suicide. So basically, it helps to break down that stigma for the people who come up with a different excuse why they lost their loved one. We have no shame in letting people know that our son had mental illness and took his own life. Another reason, it's basically in honor of Aaron, and on the selfish part of that, it basically lets us know that people are still thinking about him and thinking about us and our loss. And one of the main reasons is to support SOSL, because we know that it's the biggest fundraiser for SOSL, and they've done a lot to help us, and we want to make sure that they stick around and continue helping us and others in our situation.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And I mean, your support is evident. I mean, when we're there and we're able to be in person, Team Invictus is a force to be reckoned with. So your support comes through. And of course, I love the pictures of Aaron that you have behind you, and being able to see those today, and you sharing a little bit of his story and some of your memories with him. Roja, so why is it that you walk? So why do you come and support SOSL?
Well, I think the main reason is that we leaned on SOSL a lot when Aaron died, and we just want to give back. And another reason is that after the first walk, we realized how much everybody who knew Aaron wanted to tell us that they also care. And this is their way of letting us know year after year after year that Aaron mattered to them too. And by making donations or by joining the team, they're being proactive. They're letting everybody in their circle know that this is an important thing for them to shine a light on, that suicide prevention, mental illness, all of these things are important to them. And I feel it every time somebody even donates like $5 to the team. That is telling me that Aaron's life made a difference to them.
That
It's
is
a beautiful thing.
It's absolutely beautiful. And and it's so interesting talking to other loss survivors like you guys. It's, there's so many people that I feel like I meet through their stories. In some regard, there's this appreciation and affection I have for Aaron, and I'm so bummed I never got the chance to meet him. But that, there's a way to have their lives live on and their story to live on. And you guys are so courageous and powerful and eloquent in how you speak about it. And thank you for being here today. Thank you for continuing to talk about Aaron. Thank you for your support of SOSL. I don't want to keep you on the hook for too long, but I just wanted to see, is there anything else you'd like to share with anybody that's out there? Anything you want to say about SOSL? Go ahead, Roja.
Yes, yeah, I have more to say, Stan.
Of course you do, but I love that about you.
Well, I want to thank you for everything that you do. I think you are a wonderful asset to SOSL. We appreciate you as well.
Yes.
And I want to thank everybody who continues to come out and support Team Invictus. And two of our team members actually put together a musical fundraiser that we're going to be putting out on via Zoom on September 11th. And I do want to mention that because all the proceeds are going to go to this walk.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, so I'll share that. I'll be sharing that information on my Facebook page and just putting it on blast all over the place so that we can continue to raise funds for this wonderful organization.
Great. Yeah, let us know and we'll help get it out there. But that's a beautiful way to, we can still find joy when working towards a good cause, as much as our hearts are touched by it. So that's wonderful. So Roja and Aaron, you're both so delightful. And again, thank you for taking time to kind of get this week kicked off, Suicide Prevention Week. And hopefully we'll get some wonderful videos and posts. But thank you again. And thank you for honoring Aaron by being here today. Really appreciate you guys.
Thank you
Thanks,
too.
Stan.
All right, they are just delightful. I love you guys. That was amazing. That's why we do this. But to keep going on that, what we're actually going to do is bring in Kim Bozart, who is a board member with SOSL. So Kim, we're going to ask you to turn on your camera. Hey Kim, how you doing?
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Great. All right. So we're spotlighting you now. So we're live. Thank you for being here. So you have been a supporter of SOSL for geez, almost as long as, I can remember. You've done amazing work. So talk to us a little bit about why you got involved, because you have a very unique perspective as to what brought you here. And then, unfortunately, a similar story to many of us about what keeps you here. So what brought you to SOSL?
Yeah, so I just realized the other day, this is my 11th year doing the walk. And what got me learning about SOSL was actually through the work that I do. So when I started 11 years ago as a PERT clinician, we have been longtime supporters of the walk. And I was going there as a mental health professional, being a first responder, really seeing the families and the people left behind from the tragedy of a suicide. But I was also there supporting my coworkers who had those personal stories. Then over the years, things have changed, where my role has changed. I've started getting on the board with SOSL. I now have as the board chair, I'm even more involved than I used to be. But also I have that personal story. But when I first started coming to the walk, you were amongst strangers because you didn't personally know them, yet everyone, it was like family. Everyone was welcoming. You did not have to say a word and people already knew a little bit about you. So it just gave that really great sense of safety. There's no stigma, there's no judgment. You can honor your loved ones, and it's in a very comforting place. And that's what really touched me. There's hundreds of people that come out every year for that walk, and that impact, I mean, it's never ending. It keeps going even after that walk is over. So once I got on the board, sadly enough, my story became like everyone else, where I had someone personally die by suicide. And SOSL was there within minutes of us asking for support. And they actually came in and brought our community together, which I still 3 years later see the benefits of that. It allowed us to have the conversations. It told us it's okay to talk about this. It actually encouraged them to talk about and have these conversations going, because there's a lot of self-monitoring that goes on with that. We talk about prevention, and SOSL is way more than just their grief groups. That's a huge component, but there's a lot of prevention in the postvention component. We are constantly working to support one another in any capacity that that individual needs, to make sure that they're okay. And a lot of people don't know this, but the prevention work in postvention, that it's huge. I've seen SOSL personally save numerous lives because we've been able to engage people who needed that help, but just didn't know what to do in that moment. So I walk for lots of reasons. And I really try and get other people to walk too, because I know the personal impact, and it's been so valuable to me, and it's valuable to my family. And I want to share that with everyone else. So Roja touched on it, so did Aaron. SOSL, this walk is our biggest fundraiser. This is how we keep these services going in the community. We are one of the only providers of this service in the community, and it's so essential. We reach out to hundreds of people every year. So coming out, just the fundraising aspect too, it lets people know your support lasts for years and years by keeping SOSL going. So I will chat on and on forever, but.
Oh, that was beautiful. You didn't even need any prompts. You're an excellent board chair. I think you spoke perfectly about everything that SOSL does. And you're absolutely right. For me, it's not just it's really important that we get the message across that it's not just the support groups. There's trainings that go on. There's, you know, the warm line, there's the individual survivor support, and just letting people know the resources that are available and how important suicide specific postvention is to our community. I know for myself, unfortunately, I'm a loss survivor. That's what brought me here. So it's just so important that we continue. So thank you everyone out there for supporting us. Thank you for your donations over the years. Thank you for being our army out there and, you know, championing suicide postvention and SOSL. So Kim, thank you for joining us. Thank you not just for today, but all that you've done to keep SOSL going over the years, and really excited to, you know, continue the conversation and see your video post this week. So thank you so much.
Thanks.
All right, great. So as we're winding down here today, again, this is just a short little start, just to kick off for the week, just to kind of get everybody on the same page and let you know what's going on out there. So to everyone out there, again, we all have our own reasons, right? Many of us are loss survivors. Some of us come here because we've had our own experiences, lived experience around suicide. Some of you out there haven't lost somebody to suicide, and you wonder whether or not you have a place here. And I just want to encourage you to say, yes, you absolutely do. Our goal is that we can continue to do this work and support loss survivors, attempt survivors, and those dealing with thoughts of suicide, so that more people don't have a story. That's what we want. But for now, we're going to just say, again, just a reminder about, please engage with us on social media. Start thinking about where you might want to get that video, or what photo or what memory you want to share on social media. We're going to send out an email afterwards with all the information as far as where you can post. Again, we're happy to support it, but it's a way for us to continue the walk, to continue the conversation, and really take advantage, like Joyce said, of Suicide Prevention Week and heal through conversation. So with that, we'll see you all back next Sunday, September 13th at 10 a.m. And to close us out today, we're going to go live to the park where we're doing a dove release. So before we get to that, just everybody take a deep breath. This is always an emotional moment in my year, a moment to reflect on our loved ones and all the work that we have yet to do. So with that, I'm going to step back, and we're going to go live to the park for the dove release. Again, it's one of my favorite moments of the year, and we wanted to have just that moment in time where we could all just be live and be present and be in community together. So with that, I know a lot of our emotions are raised, so I just want to ask that everybody, as we kick off Suicide Prevention Week and all the activities, most importantly, just please take care of yourself. Ask for what you need. Take a breath, take a step outside. If there's anything we at Survivors of Suicide Loss, SOSL, Directing Change can do, please reach out to us. But please just take care, take this opportunity to remember and honor your loved ones. And our love is going out to each and every one of you. We're looking forward to seeing those videos and the photos and the posts throughout the week. And then we're really excited next week. We'll be hearing from some more speakers. We'll be again replaying the dove release footage in an edited format and doing some other activities. So for now, for today, thank you all for being here. Please stay safe, and please take really good care of yourselves. Our love goes out to each and every one of you. Thank you for being here today.